What's going on, ladies and gentlemen? My name is TheUzigunner, bringing you all my week 11 of the World Battle Entertainment, where I'm going to be going up against none other than Joedor of the Seattle Seakings. Now, Joe's a guy who I've faced a couple of times back in the not in the WB, dumbass. I was just about to say the UCL. What's wrong with me? All right. I faced him before in the UBL, yes, the Ultimate Battle League, and honestly speaking, I've had a couple of very enjoyable matches with him, and I'm very much looking forward to facing him again. Now, as of now, the Bullet Punch Club is 4-6 right now with a -5 differential, and honestly speaking, while I'm still somewhat close towards, being able to make it all a reality, I'm still really far away, guys, because I legitimately need to win, like, 3 of my matches, this one included, to, like, very much cement my spot in playoffs. So, yeah, by no means has things eased up for me, but you know what? I still haven't given up by any means, and let's see what we can do, yeah? Now, as far as the matchup goes, you should be able to see that here and now, and just from team preview alone, it is as clear as day that he has a really, for lack of a better term, unorthodox squad, because, like, he doesn't necessarily have a reliable stealth rocker, save for, Infernape and Bishar, both of which I genuinely think are much better off, being full-on offensive variants. So, like, it's gonna be pretty interesting to face them, I guess. But at the same time, these two Pokemon in general are, match up very well against me. Like, they legitimately are such massive threats against me, and considering the fact that I don't necessarily have a Dark type, and the fact that my Fighting type doesn't necessarily, like taking hits here and there, Bisharp is gonna be a very huge problem. But you know what? I got my ways around it, and yeah, hopefully I should be alright. So, before I start, I just want to also quickly apologize, guys, for taking so long to upload this. Like, unfortunately, like, this is full on my fault. There's nobody to blame for this other than myself, but rest assured, I'm gonna make sure this is a reality. But rest assured, my last 2 matches are definitely gonna be uploaded on time, and I'm not gonna make any of you wait any longer than necessary. So yeah, from the bottom of my heart, I'm really sorry, guys. But anyways, let me show you guys what I got here now. All right, I'm bringing some heat tonight, because I feel like this is the type of heat that can actually work against Joe's squad. So let me show you guys what I got here now. So starting things off, we got the Fiend, which is my Mega Aerodactyl, rocking Agility, Stone Edge, Earthquake, and Roost. And honestly speaking, this thing legitimately can just destroy Joe's squad, because with 1 Agility off, I just straight up outspeed his entire squad. There's not a single conceivable Pokemon in his party that can actually outspeed this thing after 1 Agility. And honestly speaking, while you could definitely say that, he has Alomomola, he has Mega Venusaur, and all of that, which kind of makes the Edgequake combo redundant, the fact is, I have a counterplay to that. I have a counterplay to that because the thing is, Mega Aerodactyl can hit hard, alright? But when fat Pokemon like Alomomola or Mega Venusaur exist, you need a backup plan. So here is my backup plan, or rather the perfect partner for the Fiend, which is my Shinsuke Nakamura, the Life Orb Mienshao with Swords Dance, Baton Pass, High Jump Kick, and Poison Jab. And let me tell you right now, these 2 Pokemon destroy Joe's team. Like, he has such little answers to these 2 mons, like, it's honestly crazy, but when these 2 are working together, it is an absolute recipe for disaster for Joedor. His only switch into my Mienshao is his Mega Venusaur, right? So, like, on what I assume to be a predicted switch in, I'm just gonna go straight for a Swords Dance. Or when, I'm facing Alomomola with my Mienshao, I'm gonna go for a Swords Dance as it goes for Protect. And in doing so, not only am I gonna be at +2 and just be guaranteed to pretty much just decimate anything, I can also use the option of Baton Passing that attack to my Mega Aerodactyl. And this thing is perfectly legal too, because Baton Pass rule only applies to speed, not being able to be passed. Now, but as far as other stats go, from, whether it be attack or special attack, it's all fair game. If I'm able to set up 1 or 2 Swords Dances, Baton Pass to this Pokemon, and, somehow, someway, I'm able to set up an Agility, the game just outright ends. Like, legitimately, he has no way out, period, and the only thing that I think can actually take a +4 Stone Edge to the Dome would have to be his Alomomola, but even then it would have to be at max HP. So, I mean, like, full health and, max defense bolt or some shit. So, yeah. In that regard, Mega Aerodactyl just, is amazing against them. And when you consider, and with this investment that you see before you, it just pretty much betters my odds of being able to take on Bisharp and so on. So like on a predicted Sucker Punch or something, I can get a Roost off and just knock this thing out with Earthquake. So yeah, that's how these two Pokemon are supposed to work. Poison Jab is here because like I figured that at the end of the day, I wanted to absolutely destroy his, I forgot that Pokemon. That Cherry thing. Yeah, Cherry thing. I'm just gonna call it Cherry thing. I'm really sorry. God, I'm so professional. But yeah, next up we got my Metronome Kyurem with Ice Beam, Earth Power, Roost, and Toxic. And this is also another Pokemon that just, you know, straight up demolishes Joedor's team for the most part. And when you consider the fact that Metronome is really good against him, especially when you consider the fact that, you know, most of his Pokemon are very much passive, this thing honestly can just put in the finest of work, really. And while I definitely had to choose in the end from, you know, Toxic or Substitute, in the end I figured that Toxic would be better, I guess. In hindsight, that probably was not the play, but it's whatever, the match is already done to begin with. But yeah, like this, I legitimately just need to spam these two moves to just break his, you know, defensive prowess. And if I play my cards right, like this thing can just outright win on its own. So yeah. Next up we got Primrose, which is my Icium Z Tapu Fini with Surf, Moonblast, Defog, and Haze. And this investment that you see before you is kind of like my blanket check. Yes, is at best my blanket check to his Bisharp, which you know, worst case scenario, it ends up being, you know, Adamant Life Orb. In which case, like Adamant Life Orb, Iron Head is a 50.6% chance to actually 2-hit KO this thing, which kind of sucks, but at the same time, this is kind of the best I can do, because with this investment that you see before you, I will be able to outspeed Jolly Bisharp. And I can just pretty much, you know, switch this thing in on a potential Swords Dance and just haze away all of its stats before being able to retaliate with the Surf and Moonblast. And with the special attack investment that you see before you, Surf is you know, in a lot of ways almost near guaranteed to be a 2-shot on this thing. And even then, like, all I need is just one Surf, because in doing so, he will be in range for a Moonblast, which will 100% knock him out. So in that regard, that's pretty good, I guess you could say. But yeah, this is like my blanket check to this thing. And yeah, I just need to make sure this thing is around. Now, next up, we got my Wolf's Art, which is my very unique Mungus with Spore, Clear Smog, Sludge Bomb, and HP Fighting. Why am I saying H? I don't know. But yeah, like this is a pretty unique spread, I guess you could say. But I have a reason for all of this. Now, here's the thing: Chilanberry exists in the first place because obviously, I expect him to potentially have, you know, Slurpuff. I mean, should Slurpuff actually come against me, there's a strong probability of him Belly Drum Return, or anything along those lines. And in that regard, Amoonguss just outright stops that then and there. And while you could definitely question why I have so much special attack investment and a modest nature, here's the thing. When he has a Pokemon like Haxorus, which can actually set up a substitute on me and just set up on my face, that isn't a good sign. Like, unless I, you know, happen to account for that variable, I'm a dead man walking. And in that regard, this special attack investment that you see before you guarantees breaks his sub 100% of the time should I choose to go for a Clear Smog, as he, you know, just potentially attempts to set up a substitute on my face. So in that regard, all this investment definitely comes in hand. And at the same time, Hidden Power Fighting is pretty good in the sense that I will be able to just outright obliterate his Bisharp. Like, it is a roll, but this roll is very much in my favor. So that is a very good thing, I guess you could say. And yeah, last but not least, we got my Chin, which is my Ayapa Berry Yuxi with Psychic, Stealth Rock, U-Turn, and Foul Play. Again, this Pokemon is pretty much here to act as, you know, the balance to almost everything. And it is a pretty nice switching, I guess you could say, to what I assume to be a Choice Scarf Infernape or something. And a pretty nice Pokemon to set up Stealth Rocks. U-Turn is there because Momentum, and Foul Play is especially here because should Haxorus try to set up on my face, I'm going to be able to punish it then and there. So yeah, that's pretty much all there is to it for this team, guys. Hope you all enjoyed. And with that being said, let us move on into the game. Alright guys, we are back right now, and as you can see, this is what my boy Joe brought against me. And just from team preview alone, I'm so surprised to see absolutely no Bisharp whatsoever, because honestly speaking, that thing could have just outright demolished my squad. So to not see that Pokemon, but rather see Avalugg in its place, was something I definitely did not expect at all. But honestly speaking, it's fine, really. Now, threat-wise, Infernape and Haxorus are easily his biggest threats against me, especially Infernape. Like, good God almighty, my answers to this thing are very much, you know, just loose at best. But it should be fine, really. Now, as far as leads go, I decided before the game even began, I'm just gonna lead off with my Mega Aerodactyl because, honestly speaking, the bulk is really nice, and should I, you know, want to pull off the sweep with, you know, bypassing off Baton Pass, I need the bulk. So, yeah. Let's see how this match goes, as I'm going to be challenged by Pokemon Trainer Joe, as out comes the Fiend as he leads up with his gym, the Infernape, and this is pretty good because turn 1, I can now find out exactly what set this thing could potentially be, and I know for a fact that he would switch out, but no! He just stays in and goes straight for a close combat, revealing that he is Choice Scarf, but in doing so, he is giving up his Infernape in the exchange, which definitely left me rather perplexed because that thing was easily his biggest threat against me, and you know, quite literally his best revenge killer. But you know what, it should be, it's alright, it's whatever really. Now, out comes the Haxorus, and I have no business staying in here. I need my Mega Aerodactyl around no matter what, so I'm gonna go into my primaries, into my best switch into this thing, which would have to be my Feeny, and I don't have to necessarily worry about Bisharp because it's not even here in this game. So yeah, expecting him to pull a hard switch out into his Mega Venusaur, I'm gonna pull a double out straight into my Chin Chin, and it is at this point where I'm going to just pretty much choose to set up my Rocks because, yeah, Rocks just bring me one step closer towards activating my end game plan with my Mega Aerodactyl. Although it kind of sucks to see it take some damage courtesy of that close combat because, yeah, it's going to be much more harder now to, you know, come in and be able to take whatever hit I want, really. But, yeah, he is going to reveal his Toxic, which was something I definitely did not expect. I thought it would be Sludge Bomb or Giga Drain or something, but, yeah, he's going to reveal Giga Drain right now, and it is at this point that I assume that he may just have Synthesis, which is fine, really, as here I'm just gonna U-turn my butt on out here because I kind of predict him to just go straight for you know, Synthesis instead of you know, just going for an offensive move because, yeah, it definitely was not his best play as he is gonna opt to go for a Synthesis, and it is at this point in time that my Misty Surge is going to get away, and here I make what easily was a very horrible play by choosing to go out into my Tapu Fini because legitimately there was nothing stopping him from just potentially going for a Sludge Bomb if he had it. So me doing that play was really bad, and I highly implore each and every single one of you to never ever do that. But you know what? He goes for Synthesis again, and that's actually going to work out perfectly for me because now, with me being in Misty Terrain, he cannot Toxic me. And he reveals his last move, which is his Earthquake, another move that I definitely did not expect at all, really. But it's whatever, as now I'm just going to pretty much go for another Ice Beam of my own and rack up some damage on this thing, you know? And you're already going to see Metrono putting in the work here and now, and this is pretty amazing because now his Mega Venusaur isn't even near 100% health, and this is pretty good, as now out comes his Avalag. It's gonna take Stealth Rock damage, and this is pretty amazing because with 3 Ice Beams, the next one definitely has all the probability in the world to knock him out, so unfortunately we're not gonna be able to achieve that outcome in what I assume to be was a roll, but he is gonna be able to get rid of my Stealth Rocks, which kind of sucks in a lot of ways, I guess you could say, but honestly speaking, it's fine, really. But yeah, I'm going to be able to knock out that Avalugg of his, and now out comes his Alomomola, and it is at this point that I choose to go for a Toxic, and it is also at this point that I kind of regret me not having Substitute on this Pokemon, because should I have actually brought that move, I could have just subbed up on this thing and just, you know, pretty much made Metronome do its thing, really. So, yeah, definitely an oversight on my end, but it's whatever, as I'm just gonna go for a Roost here and now. And on the bright side, his Alomomola is now on a timer, and this is pretty good because now this is pretty much, you know, his only defensive prowess remaining with his Mega Venusaur to be able to take on my offense. And considering the fact that I'm actually doing a considerable chunk of damage with, you know, Kyurem, this is pretty nice. As yeah, I chose to stay in on the off chance he tried to go out into his Mega Venusaur to pass on that wish or something, but yeah. Here, I believe I choose to make a hard switch out, straight out into my Uxie, because I figured that this would easily be my best switch in, I guess you could say. As what this does do is pretty much, you know, applies pressure on his Mega Venusaur should it choose to try to come in on my face, and Psychic will be able to do a decent chunk of damage, which is pretty nice. But yeah, here, not necessarily wanting him to allow his Mega Venusaur to come in for free, I'm just going to go straight for a Psychic here now, and I'm going to be able to take half of Haxorus' HP, but that's obviously not going to matter because, yeah, it's going to get it all back, courtesy of the Wish. Now, it is at this point in time that I opt to go out into my Amoonguss because I had a feeling that he could potentially want to go for a Poisonium Z, But no, he reveals his Night Slash, which I definitely did not expect. He's gonna get a crit on me, which kind of sucks. But here, I'm just gonna opt to go out in my Uxie because, like, again, while I definitely could have gone out into my Tapu Fini, there was really nothing stopping him from going for a Z Poison Jab or something along those lines. So yeah, I figured this would be my best play as he actually reveals that he is Draconium Z, which is something I definitely did not expect at all. But this is fine because now this gives me the freest of switch-ins into my Shinsuke Nakamura. I'm gonna go for a high jump kick and I will straight up obliterate that Haxorus of his. And this is pretty amazing because as far as offense goes, his is all dead. And it is at this point that I'm pretty much setting myself up towards the end game, so yeah. Here, I'm gonna go out into my Tapu Fini, which is quite literally the best possible switch into this Pokemon, as he does reveal to be the Cosmic Power set with Flame Orb, which is fine really because, yeah, I just outright stop everything with Haze. So here I'm gonna try to see what he wants to do really. I'm just gonna pretty much spam Moonblast and Surf to see what he wants to, you know, try to force him in a position where he has to go for a Roost, because after I'm able to get the Haze off, I can go out into my Kyurem and be able to knock this thing out. And at the same time, the fact that I'm outspeeding that thing with my Tapu Fini reveals to me that his Sigilyph doesn't even have that much speed investment at all, and my Kyurem is guaranteed to outspeed this thing. So yeah, I'm gonna go for a Moonblast here and now, and that does a decent chunk of damage. That actually does a pretty considerable amount of damage, and it is also at this point that he's kind of forced to go straight for a Roost or something. So taking this as the perfect opportunity to go out into my Kyurem, I'm going to do just that here and now, as he does end up going for a Roost, and this is pretty amazing because now first of all, I outspeed this thing, and Ice Beam is going to hurt like a bitch. So yeah, I'm gonna go straight for that here and now, and I take over half of that thing's HP as Joe tries to go straight for a Cosmic Power, and it is at this point that his Sigilyph has been rendered useless because I legitimately have nothing stopping me from going for another Ice Beam. So yeah, Sigilyph's gonna go down with a crit for good measure, as unfortunately my Kyurem's gonna take more damage courtesy of Poison, but the best Pokemon he has to take a hit from this thing would have to be his Alomomola, which gives me the perfect opportunity to go straight for a Roost. So again, I'm pretty much getting myself back up to a comfortable amount of HP. And yeah, he's gonna go throw up a Wish in the air. It's honestly fine really, as I am just going to go straight out into my Amoonguss, because considering my investment, I know for a fact that Sludge Bomb will do a decent chunk of damage to that to that Alomomola of his, especially when he evidently doesn't even have that much special defense investment to begin with, judging by all the damage I inflicted, courtesy of Earth Power and Ice Beam. So yeah, here I'm just gonna go for a Sludge Bomb here now. That actually does a very decent chunk of damage to this thing, and here I kind of recognize my endgame. My endgame pretty much revolves around making sure that his Mega Venusaur is in range, and pretty much, you know, me just ending the game with my Kyurem, which I definitely can't do, as yeah, Sludge Bomb's gonna do a decent chunk of damage, but he's gonna be able to get all that HP back courtesy of a Wish, as he really just doesn't even have anything to do at this point against my Amoonguss rather than just spam Earthquake. And judging by that damage output alone, it is definitely not even close to being a two-shot on me. So yeah, that's pretty nice, as I'm gonna go for one more Sludge Bomb and effectively put this thing below half. And it is here at this point that I believe I make a hard switch out straight out in my Kyurem on what I expect to be his Synthesis, as no, he instead opts to go straight for an Earthquake, and that actually ends up being a critical hit, first of all, which I definitely did not expect when that did such piss poor damage. But honestly speaking, this is fine because yeah, I have nothing stopping me from going straight for a Roost. And considering the fact that he doesn't even have Sludge Bomb with him, yeah, it's safe to assume that Kyurem just outright walls this thing. So yeah, it is at this point now that I opt to go out in my Mienshao and what I expect to be a Wish or something, considering his Mega Venusaur is below half. But no, he chooses to go straight for a Scald, but thankfully he is not able to inflict a burn on me, and it is at this moment in time that I'm going to make my plan become a reality, as he does choose to go straight for Protect, and I go straight for Swords Dance, which effectively just pretty much just guarantees the fact that his Alomomola is not going to be able to take any hit whatsoever from this thing at all. So I'm going to go straight for a high jump kick, and Nakamura hits 2 high jump kicks in a row, 2 Kinshasas, you already know, as his last remaining Pokemon would have to be that Mega Venusaur of his, for which I have a very easy answer to, which would have to be the Fiend, my Mega Aerodactyl, as he makes a really good play by choosing to go straight for Synthesis. But I did my calcs here, and especially with this thing not even being near at 100% health, Earthquake is, you know, pretty much would be a 2-shot on this thing, but considering the fact that he revealed to me that he is max defense, max HP, it was a roll, but fact is, I would have gone for Stone Edge the next turn had this crit never happened. But yeah, with that being said, the Bullet Punch Club is officially 5 and 6 right now, and oh my god guys, I never thought it would be possible, but we finally managed to make our differential go from -20 to 0 now. Holy shit. So yeah, like, honestly speaking, this match definitely went my way in a lot of ways, really. There were some instances where his offense could have actually brought some peril against me, especially his Axorus, but thankfully I was able to weather the storm and pretty much make everything go my way, really. So as of now, we are officially back in the playoff race, and oh my gosh guys, this is so overwhelming in a lot of ways, but again, unfortunately, nothing is a guarantee right now, because if I want to ensure that I make, for sure end up going into playoffs, I need to beat my last 2 opponents by I wouldn't say a convincing margin, but like actually beating them. Yeah, I just need to beat my last 2 opponents to cement my spot. But at the same time, should I actually end up losing to one of them, being either Kyle or Gator, I'm gonna have to rely on certain coaches losing out in order to, cement my playoff spot. So obviously I'm gonna try to make sure it doesn't come to that, and again, the odds are still against me, but if there's anything that this season has shown, with all of the support that you guys have shown me, as well as everything that's happened so far, nothing's impossible. I just gotta play my cards right, and hopefully what I want will become a reality. So yeah, that is pretty much going to be all there is to it for my monologuing. Once again, GG to my boy Joe. If you guys haven't, feel free to check out his channel. It will be in the description down below. My name is TheUzigunner. Thank you very much for watching. Have yourselves a glorious day, and I'll see you all on the flip side. Peace!